And we're back with part 2. I got everything under my paper slider. If you use a clipboard, that's fine too. I taped down the threads that are on the back on my table so that everything will stay straight here. Let me see if I can add a little bit more light for you guys. I don't know if that will be of any use. Well, hardly, I guess. Maybe. What we're going to do next is we're going to take all these thin threads and throw them to the left side. Pick up the black first one, throw that aside too. Pick up the second one on the inside. And what you need now is beads. But first we start with a white eye needle. You need that to put on your thread. So I'm going to put that on here. And you need size 8 seed beads, and you need 1 on the first thread. So that's 1. On the second thread, we're going to add 2. There. That's 2. And on the third thread, we're going to add 5. And I got my beads on the side so that I got plenty of room. And my threads won't entangle with them. So you won't be seeing what I pick up, but you'll see it when I slide it on. So I got 5 threads. Okay, now I'm going to put that all the way to the right side again. This is the one I'm going to work with next. And these are coming down. So I can pick up my first 2 threads. There. And the rest goes to the side again. And the black one. The one that has no beads on it. And we hold it in our left hand. Put it over our left index finger. And then we're going to pick up the blue thread with the right hand. And we're going to loop over our index finger into the loop. So now we're going the other way around. And make sure that that little loop stays on top. See, sometimes it will just give you a little bit of this and it won't work. So what we're going to do is you just open that up a bit. No, I didn't do that on purpose. Just open that up a bit. And then there. Just pull it so it will be there. And we're going to put that as tight in as possible. Do it again, over the finger, into the loop. And we're going to pull that again. And you can move that over with your nail if you have nails. If not, use a scissor. And this is not quite straight, so I'm going to put that straight again. Pick up my tape, tape that down as tight as possible. There. That was the first one. Now we're going to pick up the second blue thread, and again, this thread goes in our left hand. This one goes underneath the black thread. And we're going to over our finger into the loop. And we're going to pull that, move that over, and do that again. And pull that and move that over. And now the direction I'm going in with this thread, as you can see, is like that. So that's what you want. You don't want to go straight like that. You want to go a little bit down like that. Now, next up are black threads, so you won't be seeing those. I'm going to pick that up, put it over my finger, into the loop. I'm just going to do the same. 1, 2, and pull that thread into the direction you want to go. And then 1, and 2, And just like that. Okay, so it's time to, well, on the 5th thread, let's add our pearl. I got a 4mm pearl. I'm going to use the black pearl. Let's put that on there. And again, I use my white eye needle for this. Put my pearl on there. But remember, now this thread is on top. It needs to go underneath the black thread. So, pick it up with your left hand. Do your loop over your finger, into the loop, and pull that tight. And just pull that over to the black thread. So don't go underneath the pearl, just pull it over. There. And get our second black thread. Our second blue thread, I'm sorry. Put that under the pearl. And now just go straight under the pearl and make that tight so that the pearl will pop up because of this thread. So we're going under the pearl. And do it again. And move that over. There. Now we're going to pick up the white one. Goes under the black thread. And also under the pearl. And just move that over under the pearl. So that that pearl gets popped up by 2 threads now. Okay, now we pick up a white thread, and this would be a good plan to put some seed beads on there. I think I will do some 2mm Swarovskis, give it a little bling. But you can do regular seed beads. You can do silver if you want. It's not written in stone what you have to do. I got 11 Miyukis that I use. Oh, and as I remember correctly, my little 2mm Swarovskis, they don't fit on my big eye needle, so I have to do them by hand, but they fit on the cotton. And now it's basically you're going to look how much will fit on there to make this thread go straight down. You want that thread straight down like that. So that would be about maybe 3 or 4. So let's try 3 first. So I'm testing 3. Would that work? Is that all the way up? No, I think that, yeah, I think that works. You can see it by when you cross it in the direction your thread you want to go, have it go into, and then you can see if that will fit. Now, if that would be like a little lower, you would see that you would need another one. So, and it's differently for every person. That depends all on how you do your braiding with your threads. Some people work tight, some people work less tight, so I like to work tight. So it's going under the black thread again, over the finger and into the loop. I'm going to just move that over the finger, into the loop, and move that over. And to have these on the white thread, I think is best, because then you get your white thread not showing so much. If you have like a black thread going through there, you would see that much easier. So I think that white on with the clear is very good, works very well. Now we're going to do another 2 of these. One, and you can go under your Swarovskis to pop up the Swarovskis. Make that tight, maybe a little bit tighter like that. And you can move that over with with your nail. Pick up another one. Make that go under there too. Just keep that line tight and straight to the black line. And now we got our blues here, and we can pick up another color of beads if you like. So I think I'll pick up some black seed beads. And I added about 6. I'm seeing if that would fit. Yep, that will fit. 6 will fit perfectly. And the blue thread is going underneath again. I'm going to pick up my black thread and loop that, and I'm still pulling it in the direction I want it to go in, so everything is good. And now I'm going to pick up my next blue thread, and I'm going to go, oh, I got the black thread too, just my blue. I'm going to go try and get a little bit underneath that black, those black seed beads to pop them up. There. That works. And next I'm going to pick up black thread, and I've got to be really careful because I can hardly see the black thread. So I've got to be really careful which comes first and which comes second. So it goes underneath. Over the finger, into the loop. And pull that tight over. Over the finger, into the loop. And pull that tight over. And on this thread I'll think I'll put another couple of seed beads. So I've got about 7 of a frosty color blue here. See if that fits. Yep, I think that fits. So pick that up. Go it under again. And over my finger into the loop. Move that over. Over my finger into the loop. And move that over. So now I'm going to pick up my next white one. That one. And pull that, try and pull that underneath the seed beads there. And this is my last one, and I like to add my Swarovskis now, my 4mm. Of course, you can also add 3mm or 5mm, whatever your pleasure is. But you gotta calculate, so let's see how we're gonna do that. 1 seed bead. I'm going to try 1 seed bead because I don't think it will fit with 3 Swarovskis, and I don't want my Swarovskis grinding next to each other. So I'm going to go see if this fits. Yeah, if I have another seed bead that would fit. That's 1 seed bead too much. Yep, that would fit perfectly. So getting that other seed bead off. And now I'm going to do another loop. like that. There. Now I have everything in order, and now it looks as if there is one of too many of the blue seed beads on there. So I could choose to get that out or see how that would work. Yeah, I think I'll need to get that out. I don't have to take off the Swarovskis off the white row, so that helps. So I'm just carefully prying that loose. Getting my black thread out of there. And thank God this is on the white threads, that helps. But now I have to pry one black thread loose. So this is your gut. You have to measure. There's nothing you can do about it. And sometimes when you think you measured okay, it's still not okay when you add the next row. The measuring is actually only 2 times, and that is when you begin right here and for the next wave that we're going to make, and after that all your seed beads should be counted, and all the other waves you should already know how many seed beads and Swarovskis you need. So I'm going to carefully pry that loose. I'm all so scared about damaging my threads. So I'm just going to pull that black one out of there. And now I'm going to take one seed bead off. Okay, and now we're just going to do this again. Move that over. Move that over. Get the white one to go underneath it. Not too tight. And now let's get the one with the Swarovskis again. And it should be a better fit now. Yeah, there. That looks much better. Okay, and that was that for the first row. So we got a row that goes like this now, and what we're going to do next is we're going to pick up the first 2 threads and put all the thin threads on our left side, and then just split these 2 up. And we're going to pick up the first thread that has a bead, and we're going to do a row that just goes underneath this row. So this is very simple. We don't have to calculate with beads anymore. Beads are already on there. We're going over our finger into the loop, and we're going to pull that tight and close to that first row. So over our finger into the loop, and pull that close to that first row. And even if you have to cross over there with your thread like this, it doesn't matter. Just get close to that first row. Now get the second one and do that like that. Do it again like that. Get the black thread out. And the second black thread would be nice if we could find it. And if you need, just pick a needle. Just get that thread out of there. So, picking it up with the left again. And over your finger into the loop. And pull that tight. over your finger into the loop and pull that tight. And the next one over your finger into the loop. Pull that tight over your finger into the loop and keep it close to the first row, as close as possible. There. And now you're just going to pick up the next two and do the same until you're all the way at the end. So I would say pause me now until you get to the end. So we got 2 rows done, and let me show you this. You might like this actually much better. This is only done with cotton cream color, and I got the bigger 4 blacks. So this is basically the same, but if you like a color combination like this better, then let me show you what I did. These are the 6 size 8 seed beads. I got a peach pearl, I got some galvanized silver, I got some black seed beads, and I got some size 9 seed beads from the store that are a little peachy color. So if you like this, oh, and these are my 4mm Swarovski. They're pink opal or something like that, or rose opal, but they're opal colors. So whatever you like, yeah. If you like this better, you can of course do it with one color, but it's very hard to show a tutorial with all just one color, and it's even harder to see what I'm doing, so that's why it's easier for me to show it with different colors. Next we're going to do the 3rd row, and you got 2 seed beads on there. We're just going to pick up the first 2 again, and you're just going to do what you did with the 2nd row, and you're just going to pick that up, the first 2, and try to get that blue thread as close as possible to, now in this case, the 2nd line. So we're going it's going over our finger like that. I'm going to try and get that close to the 2nd row that we just did. And there might be some space in between there, as you can see, but that's okay. We're going to fix that when we do our 2nd one, because this is about as close as you can get those beads on top of that first seed bead that's in the middle right there. So this is the one where you're going to be pulling closer to that 2nd row, and then with the black thread, by the time you reach the black thread and you've done the black thread, you should be totally close to the 2nd row. There, 1 and 2. Pick up another black thread. One and 2, and now I can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm right on top of that 2nd row again with my 3rd row. So let me do the blue one so you can see that too. See, I'm right there, I'm back right there. So that's good. So don't worry if you got some space in the first one when you do them, because you can fix that as you go along. Get back to those rows, get them close together. Okay, and now you finish up your 3rd row, and then we're going to do the last row. So we're starting with the next line now. We got 5 seed beads on there, and we're splitting that up again, and we'll try and get that close to the 3rd row that we just did, and it will be a little bit difficult. Try and do it carefully, not pulling your threads too much. And then just tying that up with the 2nd one. There, that's the first one on there again. And then let's let's do the second one and pull it more close. Oh God, I hate it when it does that. But I'm always happy if it's not the black thread when it does that, because I can hardly see that. There. And there. Now the black thread needs to pull it all tight to the third row, because there's still, as you can see, a little bit of a gap. There. There, and then the blue ones, to see if we closed up to that third row. Yep, everything is in place. And now you just finish up your fourth row. So pause me now, and when you get there I'll show you what's next. And we're gonna make one complete wave, because this is like basically half a wave. So we're gonna do a complete wave. Okay. Okay, first thing I'm going to do now is that we at the end and did our first 4 rows like that. We're going to set aside the black thread, the first one on the inside, pick up the second one and add 1 seed bead to that, and then 2 seed beads to this one, and then 5 seed beads to that one. And then once with the seed bead, go to the side and we pick up the one that has no seed bead. And we're picking it up with our right hand, and we're going to make a sharp turn backwards. White thread goes over the finger into the loop, and this is the nice way to do it for the right-handed people. And go over the finger into the loop. So left-handed people should enjoy this row more, and the right-handed people enjoy this, of course, much more, because it's much easier for us. Okay, so I'm going to do another one. That's 2. And I want to go in that direction with the thread now, like this. And I'm going to pick up number 3. And now on the 4th thread, which is this black thread, I'm going to put the pearl on. Now I did this on the 5th thread, but that's because of the area where that pearl can go into is much smaller. So I'm going to pick up the 4th thread, and I'm going to put the pearl on there. And now I'm going to go, thin thread goes underneath. I'm going to pull that in 2 times, and I'm picking up the blue one, and the blue one needs to go underneath the black pearl. And as I do this, I'm already pointing in what direction I want it, and you gotta be careful that doesn't happen. It needs to go underneath the pearl. So just pull it underneath. And 2, do that again. One and 2. And now we got 2 2 threads underneath the pearl. Now we got 6 threads, and on the 7th thread we're adding the Swarovskis, 2mm or seed beads, whatever you like. And I think I need about 4 of them. Yes, 4 I think would be correct. And I'm just going to pull that through underneath that pearl, and then the next thread will go underneath the Swarovskis, pushing those Swarovskis up. Make sure that stays underneath there as you pull that in. And pull that tight, bumping up those Swarovskis around the pearl. Looks good. So we got now another white coming up. Also still goes under Swarovskis. And now it would be time, let me see, I think for the black beads. And then, yeah, so we're gonna add the black beads now. Maybe 7. Yep, I think 7 black seed beads will do. So we're going to just turn that around there. 1 and 2. And now we got the next 2 that go underneath the black beads again. Perfectly straight, pushing them seed beads up. And if you need to, just go like this till you get there. 1 and 2 and another one right next to that. 1 and 2, and then the next thread will get the blue seed beads. I think that would be about 8 then, probably. Nope, I actually have 9 instead of 8, so I'm going to do the 9. Get the second black thread to go underneath and push that up a bit. Okay, and now we've got one more blue one to go underneath those. And now we can count out our Swarovskis. And that in my case is 1 seed bead, Swarovski, seed bead, Swarovski, seed bead, and Swarovski. Now, if, for instance, you are here, you could also alterate by not adding a seed bead here, but adding them in between and not after the last Swarovski. So you need to kind of calculate, like, okay, what fits? And as you can see, this fits. So I'm going to add that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 rows and do what we did here with the last 3 rows. We're going to put the 3 rows underneath the first row, close to them. And then when you get to the end of that, then pause me and I will show you how to measure out so your Peruvian waves are equally sized all the way down your bracelet. Oh, wait, before you pause me, I just noticed that when I did my 4th row that I actually only need 4 seed beads here, so I'm going with 4 seed beads. You might bump into the same problem, just in case. You got 5 seed beads here because you need the curve all the way, but I can do it with 4 here, so I'm going to now continue with 4. Okay, so I'll see you when you finish your last row. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to measure, because we want this wave to be as big as the wave that comes next, right? So you got the line going from here to here, so just imaginary, just go pull it out, and it comes from this side out to in about that direction. So that's one line, and that's the first line you work on. So we're going to work on that line again now when we go back. And then the second line is right underneath here, under this one. And then when you go and pull that through, you come out about above that bead like that. So now you're going to get a ruler and just pull that line through like that, and the other line, pull that through a little higher like that. So now I'm going to tape this down, because now as I move it from first line to last line, I'm going to move it down, and I see that here is the direction in which I need to go. I need to go here now. I need to end up here in the corner to turn back with this line. So I'm going to do that now. First put this back up here, and then tape that underneath, tape that down. Because I already did the first two on my way back, so I know now I need to go here. And then I'm going to just use a little tape. To point me in the right direction. And you'll be able to just manually do this later on by hand, but right now it's one of my first pieces, so I want to make sure that I get the waves, all the correct sizes. Now if you need this, you can also take this a little further down, like that, and that is the direction our first thread will be going in. That's right there. And now you're just going to do what you just did before on the fourth thread, which will be the black one. In this case, there's going to be the pearl. And then you're just going to do what you did here with the same amount of seed beads. And if you don't use the same amount of seed beads, or if you have a space, you're not going into the right direction. So you might want to remeasure the cross that I have here by your first row over there. So that's important. I haven't done this very often yet. I try to figure this out myself, and I think I did pretty well. So I hope you'll be doing equally well. So let's start adding the next pearl. And I think from there on out, you're pretty much on your own. Okay, and the pearl is on there, and I'm going to take my blue thread, go underneath there, and do that again. And I'm just pointing with that thread in that direction, making sure that I'm going in the right direction. And this has 2 threads underneath the pearl, if I remember correctly. But if you don't remember correctly, you can always pull that up and see what you did here on the back side, and then it will show you how many threads went under this pearl. So I'm pretty sure that's 2. And then I put my 4 Swarovskis on, so I'm trying to keep that in the right direction there. And then this one had 4 Swarovskis. So I'm basically mirroring now what happened here, And just do that all the way to the end. And when you get to the end, just add your second row, your third row, and your fourth row. And keep close to the one that you measured. And when you get there, I'll show you what's next. And when we get to this end, we'll just turn back, and then we need this row. So when you get done with this row, and you need to do the next, just move the piece of paper down until your bracelet is long enough. And depending on what kind of clasp you want to add, I can show you several options that are available to add a clasp to this. So, yeah, I would say pause me now until you get all the way to the end, and you need to add your last 4 rows, and I will show you how to do that. So I'm going to finish this project, and what I did was I took my little cross and I put it underneath, because now I need a straight line, and when I pull it, I'm hoping I'll be about here, making a straight line. This is the last row, and I already put on the first 2 whites, and I'm going to do the third, and then I'm going to mirror what we did when we started this project. On the fifth thread there will be a pearl. So let's do the 2 black threads first. Let's see which one is first. This one. And I'm trying to keep in that direction with the line now. And now it's time to put the pearl on there. And then I did 2 threads, and then the 3 Swarovskis. And that's 1. And then let's see what's next. It's the light blue ones. And then come the 3 Swarovskis. I want those to be on top of there. And then there was another 2 rows, and then for the 6 seed beads black. One. Two. See if we can get that down a little bit more. And the white one. And then for the 6 seed beads black. And that was one, and now a black one. And then the 6 blue seed beads. And then one light blue. And then we need to add the 2 Swarovskis. There. And now we end it with how we started. And we're just going to do our next couple of rows and just try and pull that down a bit. Straighten that line out if you have to. And just do the last 3 black threads. So yeah, pause me now, I would say, until you finish that up, and then I will show you what's next. Okay, and now that everything is done, we're gonna just pry this loose. Turn it around. Tie it down again. Take that tight again. I love tape. And we're gonna braid. So I'm going to take the 4 black ones on one side, and these I'm just going to split in 2. So now we're basically going to braid. I'm going to take the 4 black ones to the side, and these are divided in 8 threads by 8 threads. So we're going to braid it on the back side. I'm going to try and keep that as straight as possible. of course. A little bit more in the middle. And the beginning will be a little bit difficult to get that in the middle. But it will be okay. I'm just going to braid this and make it nice and long. And tight. And I'm just going to make a knot on my braided area. I think this should about do it. And cut the rest of the threads off. Okay. Now the other side. Also on the back. And we just need to cut these threads. So just cut them one by one. Till you got all of them in the middle. And just do the same thing. There. So this is my finished project. If you like it like this, all you have to do is knot, double knot, and you will have your bracelet all done. But if you don't like to do a double knot, because it's very hard, of course, to get the double knots off before you go to bed or take a shower, and you don't want to go to bed or take a shower with this kind of bracelet on, then there are several options. One of them is one of these ant clasps with shark teeth hooks in there. And of course not this one, because this one is too small, but all you have to do is just push it on there like that and close that up and add a little jump ring in there and add your clasp. So that's one option. You just need it like a size bigger. I think this is 5 or 6 millimeters, so you would need a little bigger one. You can also add a beaded clasp. I have a tutorial up for that already, so let me put the link in the video right now to show you how that's done, like a little beaded clasp for this. And of course, color combination, well, sky is the limit. The way you want to do it will be all up to you. I just used a different color thread here so that you would be able to understand it more easily. I hope the video will show it well enough so you can do this. If this is still a little bit too hard for you, there will be a link underneath the video with an easier tutorial where I just use one pearl and a couple of seed beads, and that bracelet is also very pretty, but this is like the extended version of that. So yeah, if this is too hard, try the simple version, and other than that, if you get these done, please add a link to my Facebook. My Facebook page will also be in the description. I would love to see all the different kind of macrame bracelets that you did. I hope you liked this tutorial and it wasn't too difficult, and I hope to see you next time, guys, when we do some more macrame. Okay, bye guys, see you next time.